Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of European Motors. Now I am sitting in a 2003 Porsche Boxster. It's also dubbed the 986 Porsche Boxster. One of the things that really irks me is when people give flack to this vehicle. Number one, most of these people have never even earned a Porsche in their life. And that's the reality. This is a convertible. That's one of the positives of this car. I would say, yes, you lose 30% rigidity. Yes, it is a rag top, as they call it, so it takes a little bit of time to get down, but in fact, it's an awesome vehicle. And that does not make it any less awesome because it is a convertible, especially somewhere sunny here like in Los Angeles, California. Of course, if you live in a place where there's snow or there's a lot of ice, maybe it's not the best thing. Now, having owned a few 986s myself, I can tell you a little bit about this car with a little bit of experience. The number one thing I can tell you is that a lot of people call this a girl's car or a woman's car. I honestly don't even know what that means. I know a lot of women who love quick and fast cars, and of course this is the base model, it is not the S, and so it's very common for a lot of men to say, well, you know, this is a girl's car. And I've seen a lot of guys drive this car and actually enjoy this car. Yes, the S has more power. Yes, the S is more exciting, has a Carrera engine in it. But I can tell you that this is a very fun, zippy car to drive. From someone who has experience driving both the S and the standard Boxster, I can tell you that there is a difference. You do feel the difference in power, but this car is a lot of fun to drive. What I would also say is to caution people when they look at the Boxster from the earlier models. Anything 2000 and before, I would just be very cautious because those were the first Boxsters to come out, and as a result, you do have some issues that present themselves. Another issue that people regularly complain about is the maintenance on this vehicle. First of all, you do have to remember that this is a Porsche, and with that comes maintenance costs. These vehicles have specific parts that are made for this model. It's not how other cars, how they swap parts and so forth. Yes, of course, this vehicle has depreciated in price, but that's only normal. That's most vehicles. In fact, 90% of vehicles out on the road depreciate unless you have a very limited model car. So the parts don't depreciate with them as well. And so that's something that you have to keep in mind. So if you're looking to even go into the Porsche realm, please know that maintenance will be a part of it. And something that haters really fail to neglect is that this car is a bargain. For less than $10,000, sometimes even between $5,000 and $10,000, you could find a really nice Porsche with relatively low miles. That's something to think about, and that's because some people do not want to put that money into the maintenance. I would recommend, if you do have a few thousand, 5,000, 6,000, set a couple other thousand, say have 10,000 total. Spend 5, 6, 7 on the vehicle, have 3,000 or 4,000 in your savings so that in case anything catastrophic happens, you're covered. I promise that if you're intrigued by the Porsche, you've never tried it, and you do try it, it'll be so far beyond what you've ever imagined. It is just so much fun, and I know a lot of Porsche owners who would agree with me, especially the ones that comment down below. I do appreciate that. Thank you so much. So what I would say to you, if you do have an interest in buying a Porsche, just think about it. Do your research, see what's out there, look at prices, try to find a low mile one. Before you buy it, make sure that your Porsche is checked by a certified Porsche mechanic or just an independent shop that knows these cars inside and out. That'll keep you from burning yourself through lots and lots of money. Trust me, it's not expensive. Most cost between $150 and $200 per vehicle. That doesn't even compare to the thousands that you could spend if you don't have your car checked. It only takes a couple hours and then you're out of there. And finally, one of the biggest things that Boxster haters always say, IMS. It's something that goes along with the 996 as well. Yes, these cars have an issue with the IMS. Is it blown out of proportion? Absolutely. And what I mean by that is most Porsche owners who have had these cars, most have not had an issue with the IMS. Most are due with low mile vehicles. That's a higher chance of your IMS going bad. Also, people who don't properly warm up their car and don't drive it hard, believe it or not. I'm not saying don't confuse hard with abuse. Those are two different things. What I mean is let your car warm up. Give it the proper warming up process that it needs. Once it is warmed up, then you drive that car hard. You let it go into the higher RPMs. People who keep it in the lower RPMs, the lower mile Porsches, those are the ones that you really should be careful of. Those have a greater chance of having the IMS go up. Again, this is my third Porsche, and I regularly drive these vehicles. I've really never run into any person who has had an IMS issue. Well, thank you so much. I do appreciate you watching this video. It does mean a lot to me. In the comments below, let me know what you think. Are these Boxster people justified? Are these haters justified in what they're saying? I want to hear from Porsche Boxster owners, as well as maybe Carrera owners, and also people who've never earned a Porsche. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about these vehicles? In my opinion, they're great and fantastic, and all the haters just love the hype on the forums. Alright, we'll see you next time, and don't forget, stay safe on the road.
To chase the feeling again, let's be friends. You only need what's best for you and not them. Don't pretend. Now